Madison County leaders believe that the dip in numbers has to do with the masking ordinance. Here is Kenesha Dees with the latest.
We are starting to see some impact, something that is measurable.
Dr. Karen Landers with the Alabama Department of Public Health says as of this week, the percentage of positive COVID-19 cases statewide have decreased by 2%, now at 14.5.
We would like to get less than 10%, and I think that can happen if we continue to be vigilant.
She also sees a change in hospital rates.
While our demand in hospitals remains high, over the last week, our numbers of patients hospitalized appears to have flattened and minimally declined. Let's take this small amount of improvement as good news, and let's continue to follow these measures.
Both Landers and Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle agree the mask order seems to be working.
We were up 89 since yesterday, and 89 is a number that is better than where we have been.
However, Battle believes there's still more work to be done. He says since July 8th, there has been a steady number of 112 to 120 patients combined at Huntsville, Maine, and Madison hospitals.
The patients in the hospital right now is a number that we're watching very, very closely.
Battle also says by the end of next week, the county will see how effective the alcohol restrictions are, which banned serving alcohol after 11 p.m. This week, the department presented a back-to-school kit for school districts. In addition, the department will roll out a webinar August 24th,
which will continue to provide educational information related to preventive measures in schools and also to discuss our ongoing case investigation and contact tracing.
Putting the Valley first, Kenesha Dees, WZDX News.